Hi folks, Doc here. Winter's back. It's that global warming, cooling, warming, and cooling again thing. And we're cooling. Not entirely sure what the temperature is at this exact moment, but still well below freezing. Anyways, I threw some pics in the description out on the Facebook group earlier. So I did some horse trading today. And some of you already know what I'm talking about, but I'll show you. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is the 1970 Wheel Horse Raider 12 that I just picked up today. And I've made some changes to it. The first most notable change is I put an engine in it. And it happens to be my 11 horsepower electric start Honda GX 340. Single cylinder, air-cooled, overhead valve. I love these engines. I had this sitting around waiting for a purpose, and the purpose showed up. Incidentally, in case anybody's wondering, I did indicate that I did some horse trading, and I did trade. You guys probably recall that I had a 1980 Roper 16T, I think it is. Anyways, looks a hell of a lot like the Sears Suburbans. Anyways, I traded that without an engine for this without an engine, just because I wanted something a little bit different, and I got it. Alright, so the basic deal here is they're a horizontal shaft layout. Horizontal all the way. Oh, belt's riding a little high. And these things have a rather sturdy cast iron transaxle. There it is there. It's kind of like Peerless 2300 meets Roper 633. It's very stout. Like I said, it's iron. But it's got the high-low range 3-speed. Dual range 3-speed. That's just fantastic. There's the two shifters there. This one here is your gear selector. That is first, that's reverse, that's second, that's third, and this is the range selector. That's low range, that's high range. I haven't hooked up any of the remote controls yet. The dash, throttle, and choke, and kill switch, and ignition switch, whatever, all that stuff. So right now I just only have the local controls on the engine. So fuel on, and choke, there's the throttle, there's the key switch. Fitting this engine in was a riot. I'm going to go back over to this side. As you can see, with these Honda GX series, the cylinder is inclined down. It's 20 degrees off horizontal, or 25 degrees, or 30, or something like that. It's not even 45. It's pretty laid down. And as you can see, if this was much further forward, I'd run into some clearance issues. And I basically did. Unfortunately, due to the airbox, which I had to take the upper portion of the airbox off, and as you can see, I'm just shy of touching here. I could only go so far forward with it. So the engine is actually mounted further backwards than it should be, or at least than the crank position on the old engine would have been. This would have had a 12-horse Kohler back in the day. I had to cut off a piece of this belt cover guide thing. It's kind of a safety guard, but it also had two guides built in. So I had to trim this back. And then what I did is I used two 9/16 bolts to act as a belt guide here. I had purchased this 6-inch pulley for use on Fugazi just 2 or 3 days ago, and it was the only pulley I had remotely handy, so on it went. And I mounted the engine where it could, and it just so happened that I had an old belt that was about the right size. So I got lucky there. I kind of had to go through some hoops to get this engine mounted. One of the things that I ran into as a difficulty, as you can see, was in order to position the engine, you know, appropriately left to right, in order to get as much space as I could with the airbox and still try and keep the pulley in alignment and yada yada yada. Over here, as you can see, I've got no bolt here because this slotted hole is kind of right on the edge of the frame rail. Half the hole is right off the frame rail. I'm gonna have to weld some tabs on that side. It's the same thing at the front of the block, so right now I only have 2 bolts holding the engine in. So I am gonna have to deal with that. All right, let's open the hood up. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what the factory arrangement was. I think the gas tank went there. I'm not even sure about the battery. I haven't looked on Google yet to see what the original arrangement was supposed to be. But my standard lawn tractor batteries would not fit under the hood in this space, just a little bit too tall. Fortunately for me, I had this gel cell kicking around, thanks to Dana Morgan for that one. That can of course be oriented any way you want. And you know, laying it on its back there, fit under the hood nicely. Obviously the original gas tank is long gone. The Honda's got a tank. That works for me. I don't care. It's all good. Now this thing had some halogen headlights that were scabbed in. But the problem with that was the factory Honda muffler was pointing right at the right-hand headlight. There's about 3 inches clearance there, and as you can imagine, the headlight wasn't going to last long. So I pulled the lights for now. And I'm probably going to have to do a custom exhaust on this thing. The original front wheels on this thing were 480 by 8, so they were skinny, but they were on wide rims, kind of like these ones, so they were stretched. Which, I mean, I could live with that. The problem is I don't know if the C-clips were worn out or whatever. The bushings were shot, so they were flopping all over the place like Dumbo's ears. And one of the C-clips got ejected twice. The second time I lost it. So twice farting around the yard here, I lost a wheel. Anyways. I basically did the better part of solving that by stealing the wheels off this orange Sears Suburban and sticking them on there. The bushings were in good shape. And then I used a little bit of snow collecting here, some 3/4 inch lock collars just to retain them. Because after sticking the engine on, I really wanted to take this thing for a boot. And, you know, losing the front wheel twice kinda sucked. So I guess I'll take it for a little putt-putt and show you that it works. All the gears work, high and low range works. Brakes work, but they need adjusting. They're not that great, but they do work. Definitely tell that clutch pulley bearing is just about done. As you can see, it kind of steers like crap in the snow with these wide, damn near bald Sears tires on it. But what the hell, deal with the rest later. Either way. So what am I doing with her? Well, frankly, I was thinking about taking the plow off this ugly honking Honda. Yeah, you guys remember this thing I picked up recently. I got rid of that ridiculous hood that was on there. And I'm thinking about fitting this Yanmar 135D hood on there. Be an interesting look. It's a little ugly too, but it's better than a box. Anyways, this plow blade here, which is a little tweaked, I'll have to beat on a little bit, but I don't care that much. I was kind of looking at the mechanism, and the harness for it, so to speak, is almost the right width for that wheel horse frame. So I'm thinking about scabbing this plow onto that wheel horse. I've got a little 2-stroke snowblower I use for the driveway in the winter, and it works, but a couple passes with the blade would surely be quicker, and maybe I can help the neighbors out occasionally too. Anyhow, it's still well below freezing. It's cold, miserable out here. I've been running in and out of the shop charging the camera battery because it doesn't like being cold. I think I'm about done. Did a good trade this morning, got a little bit of work done, got this thing running and driving, which is cool. So I think it's about to pack it up and call it a day. So thanks for tuning in to Sprocket's Garage on YouTube, and until next time, take care of yourself.